So today we are going to talk about the Mongol Empire. So the Mongols were a big thing back in the day. It's actually who took over China a lot. Um, it was a bad fight. It was bad. So let's talk about the Mongol Empire. The Mongolian population was very large, but they were able to conquer many areas because of their large army. They used crossbows and horses in battle. Those were their main things. Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was their fiercest leader of the Mongol Empire, expanding the empire to be the largest empire in history. In the early 1200s, Genghis Khan led the Mongols to capture much of Asia. His grandsons Kublai Khan and Batu also led groups of Mongols to conquer other lands. They often used violence to capture cities. Europeans called them the Golden Horde because of the golden color of the tents of the Mongol tents. Golden color of the tents of the Mongol tents. And there we go. Sorry for that. So the Mongols lived north of China. Is now called Mongolia. In the early 1200s, the Mongols captured Beijing, Central Asia, and most of Persia. So, most of that area. So there's how much they conquered. All that in red. By 1294, the Mongols had conquered most of Asia. Leaders such as Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, expanded the Mongol Empire to be the largest empire in history. So, pretty big. In 1271, Kublai Khan announced that he was starting his own dynasty called the Yun Dynasty. Kublai Khan built the capital of his dynasty in Beijing. Mongols helped China in many ways. They ended the 100 Years' War. Population began to grow again. Built trade routes that linked China to India and Persia. Hurt the economy of China by imposing heavy taxes that the farmers and merchants could not afford to pay. During the Mongol rule of China, the contact between China and the rest of the world increased dramatically. France and Italy both sent ambassadors to China. Christian missionaries traveled to China to try to spread Christianity. Marco Polo was an Italian man that traveled to China during the time of the Yun Dynasty. Marco Polo was a famous merchant and explorer. He traveled to China to meet Kublai Khan. Khan was very impressed with Marco Polo and hires him to be his personal representative. He became famous for his writings about the Yun Dynasty. His writings were responsible for how the rest of the world became aware of the way of life of people in the China. The Yun Dynasty did a lot to help the Chinese, but there were still problems between the Chinese and the Mongols. They spoke different languages. Chinese were not treated as equals by the Mongols. Chinese people did not hold government positions. Mongol law punished Chinese people more harshly. Chinese people were not allowed to marry outside their own people, so they weren't allowed to marry like a Spaniard or an American or a Italian or something like that. Despite the problems, the Mongols did help China in several ways. They increased contact with Europe. More local government were responsible. The central government in Beijing led political reforms that gave more power to the emperor. So that is the end of that slideshow. So I hope you guys learned something, and I'll add this slideshow so you can look over it again. And hopefully you have a good day.